Hey Andy, welcome to the GAC RMHC Golf Classic. Just want to let your swing play through here at regular speed, then we'll put you back in your address position and take a look at a few things for you. So while we got you back here in your setup, let's go ahead and take a look at your posture. We can see here your spine is relatively straight and on a tilt. Your legs come down into definitely an unlocked position. Your arms hang down a little bit out in front of you and the club works out to the ball. I would redefine your posture a little bit here by sort of throwing your tail out and up, throwing your sternum out, up, and forward. And what that's going to do, it's going to do two things. It's going to straighten your spine a little bit, even the rounded part up top a little bit better, and it's going to put you on a little bit of a better angle. Okay? Right now you're a little bit vertical with your spine. From there, as you push your tail out and up, it's going to also take you away from this bent position in your knees and just allow your legs to be unlocked. From there, we'll go ahead and let our hands and arms hang down so the hands are a little bit closer to the thighs. Let the golf club work out to the ball and really increase the angle relationship between your forearms and your wrists and the club shaft there. Now, to help you also improve that angle relationship or the look of your arms with the golf club, very important that you look at revising your grip. Unfortunately, and obviously looking at a grip, obviously I always take a look at grip from a face-on view camera angle and zoom into the hands, show people where their hands are, show them where they're supposed to be, and then obviously make that adjustment. Unfortunately, we can't see your grip, but I'm just going to let you know right now that your right hand on the golf club is extremely strong. And I'm not talking about a pressure standpoint, I'm talking about a positioning standpoint, whereby you're holding the golf club more like a baseball bat or a hockey stick, and your right hand's rotated underneath the club. So we don't have the club in the fingers, we don't have a trigger finger. We really want to nestle the club in the fingers, not in the palms. Okay, so we're going to see in your golf swing that grip is strong, and then it's going to want to close the club face at areas of your golf swing for sure. Okay, your alignment looks good. Let's go ahead and do a little split screen comparison here between you and Jordan Spieth. We've got some color coded lines on the screen just to use as a visual reference as it pertains to swing playing. Perhaps you can see with respect to posture, if we look at Jordan, see his spine's a little straighter, it's tilted, angled a little bit more forward, where his sternum and his head are a little bit more out over his toes, his tail's out a little bit better, not bending in the knees so much. From here, as we go ahead and take a look at the golf swing, want to simply draw the golf club back by creating good shoulder rotation, bring the arms and hands back as well as the golf club. And we want to watch the club come back directly along the red line, which means the club is swinging back on a proper swing plane. Also, in the early stages of the golf swing, we want to create some wrist hinge into play, which is going to transition the club head from being currently below and in front of our hands to getting that golf club now above and behind our hands, all the while the club shaft's still on the red line. From here, we're going to work the golf club from red up towards the blue-yellow V zone. When we finally get to the top of the backswing, we either want to have the left arm and the golf club situated either on the yellow line, anywhere in between that blue-yellow V zone, or physically up on blue, as we can see with Jordan Spieth. We want to do this with full shoulder rotation and about a very stable right leg. Let's go ahead and watch you initiate your takeaway here. So you pop your hands out away from your core. That takes the shaft of the club out to the right and outside of the golf ball. So one of the things you definitely want to do when you initiate your takeaway is don't be afraid to let your hands work a little bit more inside and around your body. Golf swing's a circular motion. A circular motion should work on an arc. An arc works around your body. It doesn't work out away from your core. Okay? So right now you're taking it outside, maybe picking the hands and arms up a little bit. Hopefully we start to see some wrist hinge occur here shortly, which we do get a little bit through here, so that's great. Club head starting to fall behind your hands. Hands and arms are still out away from you a little too much, so you're going to have to shallow this out to get yourself back into a good position, and that's what we see you do right here. That's great. You're starting to shallow things out, because I think your subconscious brain understands if I go too steep, I'm not going to have any power back into my golf swing. So when we finally get to the top of the backswing here, I like your shoulder rotation, I like the stability of your right leg, I currently like the geometry of your arms to your core, left arms within that blue-yellow V zone, the club's in good position relative to your arms, looks really, really good. But is that where we set the club, or do we keep on moving? Yeah, We're still moving that golf club and swinging further, but even though we have, you're still in good position. Looks really, really good. I like it. I would have liked to, again, seen you rotate off of a spinal axis that had a little bit more tilt. Right now you're struggling a little bit to look over your left shoulder just because you're creating a rotational movement off of a spinal position that just started a little too vertical. Okay? As we create our transition back into the ball, we simply now want to move our weight from our right foot to our left. We want to fire our knees and our hips laterally to the target, unwind our core, and fire our hands. And in doing so, we want to make sure we're bringing that golf club from that blue-yellow V zone, wherever we set it, back down onto red, which is absolutely critical in order to hit straight golf shots. This golf club has to return back to being on plane, and that's exactly what we can see here with Jordan Spieth. The golf club has done just that. It's returned back to plane. The other thing we want to look at is the relationship between the lead form and the golf club. I refer to this as the backwards check mark. That simply means the club head is remaining above and behind our hands coming into the hitting zone, and this is what's going to allow us to create a lot of power in the golf swing, aside from the fact that he's going to be able to hit the ball straight because the club's returned back to plane, as we've already noted. Let's go ahead and watch your transition back into the ball here. So your hands travel a little bit down yellow. They're starting to drop, so that's good right there. The club's starting to fall back to blue and then to yellow, and can we get this back to red? So this is superb right here. This looks great. So let's look at the relationship between your lead form and your golf club. We've got your backwards check mark. So creating some power in your golf swing won't be an issue. The other thing we see is the club's returning back to plane. This is phenomenal. So you're going to have an ability to hit a straight golf shot in accordance to your alignment, which was also very good, as long as the club face squares up. But I'm a little bit concerned because, what did I mention? Well, I said your right hand grip was too strong, and that might have a tendency of closing your club face. So let's continue to watch this club head come into the ball. Club head's here. Let's go to the next frame. So it drops down right on plane, and if we connect the dots, we can see you're coming into the golf ball from a pretty solid downswing plane. So that's great. Just like we can see with Jordan Spieth, again, club returned back to plane here. Let's track it coming in to the ball. We can see that that golf club comes into the ball directly from the red line. And again, like I said, this is what produces straight golf shots in accordance to our alignment, assuming lastly that club face squares up via having a good grip. Okay? So 3 things we need in order to hit straight golf shots. We need to aim well. Feet have to run parallel left of our target line. Club has to return down on plane. Both of you are doing that. Lastly, we have to have a good grip to square the club face up. Look at his grip. Look at where his hand is versus your hand. Your hand is way underneath the golf club. That's what I told you. I said you were set up to the ball with your right hand rotated way underneath the club, to the right. So you do have a very strong grip. See how we see the back of his hand? That's because the club is sitting in his fingers. He has a good trigger finger on the golf club. So my concern here is you come into the ball, you're going to close that club face too much, and that ball's not going to be hit straight. Yeah, I see this club face shutting down. You also hit the ground, which you don't want to do. You want to sweep the ball off the tee. So don't be afraid to tee the ball up higher, and just learn how to sweep the ball off the tee so you don't have to get the club so close to the ground. So if you teed up a little higher, you can keep the club a little further off the ground. You won't have to hit the ground, and that would be great. So here's your club face shutting down, and look at that. Ball's going low left because the club face smothered the ball due to your grip. Okay? So if you learn how to get a good grip, you're going to hit the ball so much better. Look how you're moving through. You're moving through to a beautiful finishing position. I mean, sorry, let me go back to locating you here. My apologies. There we are right there. Let's clear that stuff off the screen. I mean, overall, your golf swing's looking really, really fantastic. Sure, could use a little bit of improvement with your posture at the starting position. You know, tail out and up. Get a little bit better spinal tilt, not bend the knees so much. Obviously, when we bring the golf club back, learn how to let the hands just intuitively come back inside and natural on an arc. Your set position is phenomenal at the top. Your shoulder rotation's great. You turn, you uncoil through the ball. Your hands work well back and through. You got good footwork allowing you to get to a good finish. And the reality is, you're coming down on plane with good alignment, so you should hit straight shots if you had a good grip. So if you had a good grip, you'll absolutely increase your launch angle. You'll hit the ball way straighter, way higher, and way further. And boy, oh boy, your entire golf game is going to totally change just by simply improving your grip. Okay? Anyways, if at any point in time you ever want to work on that, I'm over at Glen Abbey in Oakville. I'd be happy to construct a little program for you. Also, if you're involved with any golf tournaments at all, you guys are looking for a unique gift to provide your guests, feel free to touch base and be happy to discuss my swing analysis services with you. Anyways, hope you had a fantastic day, and hope you enjoyed getting an opportunity to see your swing on video.